We are live. This is the NBA Rundown. The channel is Nuke the House. Just got done talking some NFL with JC Tyler, and now I'm lucky enough to be able to talk the NBA with you. We went 3-2 last night. I felt like we should have been 4-1. Blazers blew it there at the end. For my best ball, that Killian Hayes deal was one of the best things ever because I had a bunch of Jaden Ivey, and he was getting plenty of run last night. My Jalen Duren, I mean, that guy's. My best ball advance rates are ridiculous, Tyler, because I have so much Jalen Duren. Regardless, I'm pretty excited to talk some NBA with you. But before I start, I made a cross sport bet on the other show. I'd love to hear your thoughts. So,
Let me hear it.
the Celtics are going to play the
Washington
Miami
on
Heat.
Sunday. Oh no, yeah, Miami. They play Washington today.
So I took Jason Tatum minus 2.5 more points in the San Francisco 49ers.
I like that because if
I
he gets into
figure
the
it's basically
if he,
like
if he
over
gets into the
24.
30s, you won.
Yeah, I mean, I had projected the 49ers at 21. So that's basically Tatum would get 24 or more.
Yeah, I like that call.
Yeah. All right. Any thoughts on the NBA last night? I've been watching live because I'm dealing with that injury right now. It's stressful, bro. But what were your thoughts on the NBA? I didn't really have a lot of takeaways except for I was loving all the Lakers tears. As like finally some of the Lakers fans have noticed what I've been saying for years, that LeBron just seriously sits there in stat pads and doesn't give any effort on defense, and it trickles down to the whole team. What were your
Yeah, I
thoughts of
mean,
last
the only
night?
thing I'd take away from last night was Timberwolves look good after a loss in Milwaukee. The Doc Rivers thing might not be working. And what was the other thing? Steph
Might not.
after a yeah, might be a little bit of an underreaction to that. And then Steph's performance last night against Indy was crazy. But he hit his first six threes.
Bro, I almost put Warriors +6 on there too.
They won the game by
Dude, my
20.
NorCal teams, dude, I cannot believe in them right now. Every time my projections tell me to take them, I don't do it. Both the Kings and the Warriors, for some reason in my head, I just don't think they're as good as they are. Like, I just view them as these terrible teams, and they're not that bad.
Yeah, I don't think they're as bad as you view them.
Oh, the Lakers tied the game with 2 minutes left. Hang a banner, Clyde. The Atlanta Hawks are -3. They're in Philadelphia. They're taking on the 76ers. Total is 247.5. Tyler, I projected this game as a 1 point Hawks win at 239, but we know that projections are never going to get you close on these super high totals. But it is safe to take the 76ers here. However, I'm not so sure about what I want to do with this game. You've been spending more time on the NBA than me, however, today. What are your thoughts here when the Philadelphia 76ers host the Atlanta Hawks?
Yeah, I think this is Hawks or pass. I mean, Philly looks like shit without Embiid. Maxi's dealing with this illness. He's missed games recently, too. They've moved pieces around. And the Hawks didn't really make any moves at the deadline. So are these guys just going to take a deep breath and just play the rest of the season out? Is DeJounte Murray's back tightness going to go away all of a sudden now that he's not been traded and he'll play tonight? So there's just a lot
I
of
think
things to
that
keep
was
an
a
eye
real
on here.
injury. I think that's a real injury. I don't
Yeah,
think the guy
I
even
think
gets trade
Philly
deadline.
Philly without Embiid looks like one of the worst teams in the league. So Atlanta or pass for me, but just give me Okongwu over 13 and a half points. Small front court. He scored 19, 18, 22, and 15 in his last four. And that was against Boston, LA, Golden State, and Phoenix. So I definitely think he can get over that 13 and a half for us in this matchup.
We're doing a combo.
Yep.
All right, that's gonna be our only bet for this game. I don't want to get involved in the side of the
He
total.
keeps getting his numbers set like he's Clint Capella playing center for them. But he's taking
Wonder,
11, 10, 12 shots in his last three. So he's getting the shots.
I wonder how much they're gonna limit to me to on this. I got a Kongwa over 13.5.
That's what I got too. I
We'll
like
try
that
and
at that
bet
number.
$215 on it. Let's see if they let me bet it.
And just looking at it, over the last 30 days, Philly's giving up 24 points per game to centers, shooting 60% from the field.
All right, yeah. Atlanta 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games. Philadelphia 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 against Atlanta. Total's gone over 5 of the last 6 times these teams have played each other. So some trends there. Of course, one of them goes for both sides. The other one says take the over. It's hard to take an under in an Atlanta game, right? So, all right. But let's just play that prop. Onyeka Okongwu.
I don't mind this player performance double on him. Him to score 10 points and they win at plus 115.
I'm not sure they win.
I think they win this game spread. I think Philly without Embiid, and if Maxi's still dealing with
Atlanta's not that good.
Philly might be a bottom 3 team with the way they're built right now.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Like their best player on the floor tonight is going to be Tobias Harris if Maxi sits. Who's 2? Is it already the incoming Buddy Hield?
No, he's terrible.
Who's better than him on this team that's going to play tonight?
B-ball Paul.
Who?
Paul Reed.
I don't know about that.
No, he's not. All right, you're making your point. Okay, I'm not betting it though. Tyler makes a good point there.
No, I wouldn't bet it. I wouldn't bet the -3. I'd maybe take a sprinkle on this 10+ and they win at a nice price, or the 15+ and they win at plus 215.
All right. Yeah, I like that too. Houston Rockets are +2. They're in Toronto. They're taking on the Raptors. Total's 234.5. Tyler, total's gone over the last 5 times these teams have played each other. Houston 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 against Toronto. Total's gone under in Toronto's last 5 home games here. Tyler, one thing I noticed is Houston sped up a lot. They were one of the slowest teams in the league. They have when I'm doing the numbers, they have one of the biggest discrepancies in their points per game and in their points per game last 5. They've definitely upped the pace there. So I think that my projections for Houston are going to be low, which is why I have this one at 224, but it's a 234. If we're using just last 5, this number's right. So even though you're going to see a huge edge on the projections, this is why we don't blindly bet projections. We have to use the tape study and what we're seeing and more recent statistics to kind of balance out how these teams have performed all year. And I think this is an interesting spot here, Tyler. I mean, obviously, Houston's a better team, but they haven't been very good on the road this year. Let me pull up their road record. They're 9-13 against the spread on the road. However, Toronto hasn't been that much better at home. 10-13 against the spread at home. Both teams got a day of rest. Houston covered the one time that they did play each other so far this season. However, that was in Houston. Houston only 7-12 as a road underdog. But they've been good in these small spreads. When they're pick them to +3, they're 6-2 against the spread. What are your thoughts here, Tyler?
Yeah, as for the side, I don't think I want anything to do with this game on the side. It's like betting Houston on the road. I feel like it's just getting in front of a trap. Toronto's just been, I can't read that team for the life of me. Mm-hmm. I don't want anything to do with the side or the total in this game. Some props, though, I like in this one. RJ Barrett over 20.5 points. He's been money. It's a good matchup for him. Like, Sengun's going to be the guy in the paint. Sengun's not the best rim protector, so RJ Barrett should be able to eat on these drives, get his three-point shot going. So, like his prop. But the prop I like the most in this game spread, Amen Thompson's rebounds are set at 7.5.
Okay.
He's played 2 games this year where he's cleared 30 minutes. He's grabbed 14 rebounds and 13 rebounds in those 2 games. He's going to play 30-plus minutes tonight without Fred VanVleet. The Raptors don't have the biggest front court outside of Podol. He's going to get in there, and at 7.5, I do not hate that number taking his over on his rebounds.
Love it. All right. 2 games, 2 props, no sides and totals yet. We like Okongwu over points and Amen Thompson over on rebounds. The Washington Wizards are +17.5. They're in Boston taking on the Celtics. Tyler, I have this projected as a 19-point Boston win right on the total. So, I don't know. I don't want to play it. Do you? All right, you're muted, but you just said
No,
no. And
I don't want anything to do
can
with
we
that
just skip
game.
the game? I mean, do we want
Yeah,
to
skip
prop
the
it?
game. It's
Okay.
just when I lay these big spreads, Boston's the one team I don't want to lay them with because I don't know which Boston team's going to show up. Are they going to go out there and just run the score up, or are they just going to play with their food up until the fourth quarter and then be like, all right, now we'll win the game?
Yeah, and I also think that Wizards loss of Gafford's going to hurt them a lot more.
I think so too.
I know they were kind of plucky on the road against the spread
What's like
so far
Boston's
this
team
season.
total? 126.5. See, that's even too
Yeah,
high to even
you
pull the
know.
trigger on.
All right, Tyler. When we're talking about, and I'm not going to necessarily do it, but I'd much rather take the big stupid spread here
Yeah.
with the Charlotte Hornets plus 14.5. Totals 228.5. Tyler, we kind of were joking about it earlier, but Doc Rivers' tenure as the Milwaukee's Buck coach has not really inspired very much confidence so far. Also, I see all their big players on the injury list with Lillard and Giannis both questionable. Chris Middleton out. On the other side, though, the Hornets. A lot of these people are all trade, so they made all those trades. So they're gonna run. They're gonna be
It's going to be
shorthanded.
like their
However,
normal team outside of what? LaMelo? It's going to be the same team they've ran
no
for
PJ
weeks.
Washington.
Oh, yeah,
That's the big
PJ
loss.
was traded.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the one guy that's moved.
They traded some others, didn't they? Because I see
Oh, yeah,
Kyle Lowry.
Gordon Hayward, but he hasn't played in months.
Okay, good point. Good point. All right, that was the other one. Okay, cool. Yeah, Charlotte 8-16 against the road against the spread. Let's look at them as huge underdogs.
I know they beat
Um,
the Kings outright at the same number.
yeah, but when they're getting between 12.5 and 15.5, they're 4-3. When Miami's laying between 12.5 and 15, Milwaukee is laying this much, they're 0-5.
I don't mind taking the points here. My only worry is coming off the blowout loss at last night. Maybe they come out more motivated tonight. I think you could see that. But at the same time, this team, I don't like the way this team's built without Lillard. The whole coaching thing's just all over the place. You could talk me into the points.
Let's double back because it comes down to, and I talked about doing this before. There's no way you take Milwaukee here.
No, I'm not taking
I
Milwaukee.
mean, just by saying that, it makes me want to take Charlotte. We're gonna double back to this one though. Um, Total's gone under 6 of the last 7 times these two teams have played.
My other worry spread here is if do they play tomorrow? If Charlotte doesn't play tomorrow, then they're not going to play again until like Monday. So they're going to go out and have themselves a time over the weekend. We know how this team is. They play in Charlotte tomorrow night. So, yeah, I like it better taking the points here. I think tomorrow night's where they just kind of go, yeah, we don't care about this game.
That's fine. All right, let's double back, but I like plus 14.5. Denver Nuggets are now plus 2.5. They're in Sacramento taking on the Kings. This is a good situation spot for Sacramento. Denver, of course, got that high-profile victory over the most overrated team in the league last night, featuring the most overrated player in the league, who once again got a bunch of stats in a loss. Now the Nuggets have to travel up to Sacramento, and we have the rest advantage here. We led the Egg in the dreaded first game home after the long road trip. So you got to think the Kings are going to look a lot better than we saw them in that last outing. How could they not? They lost straight up to the Pistons as a pretty big favorite. In fact, we were on the Pistons, Tyler, and you gave out the Pistons money line there. So, hey, maybe you're our Kings whisperer here. Total here is 232. The Nuggets are plus 122 on the money line. Kings used to be a lot better at home than they have been this season. So far, they're only 10-13 against the spread at home. However, Denver's 10-16 against the spread on the road. Kings are 17-18 as a favorite this year against the spread, of course. 9-11 as a home favorite. And the Nuggets are 3-2 against the spread as a road underdog. Nuggets only 3-6 against the spread In the second game of a back-to-back, the Kings are 24-19 against the spread after a day off. Kings also covered in the earlier time these two teams met. Your thoughts, Tyler?
I think I'd be on the other side on you in this one, spread.
I didn't even say a side, did I?
Yeah, I think you said you'd lean Kings. Just the way the way you broke it down sounded like you would lean Kings.
Yeah.
I gotta lean Denver here. I know they played the hard fought game yesterday, but this team didn't play a game before last night up until for 4 nights. They played Portland on February 4th, and they didn't play the Lakers till February 8th.
Yeah.
So how tired can you be having 4 days of rest on a back to back? You know what I mean? Like, you're not as tired as a normal team on a back to back that's ran a road trip or played 4 games in the last week. This is a spot where I think Denver rolls in. They beat up on Sacramento. You look at that last trip they had to Sacramento. They were in Phoenix the night before, which is a farther flight, and then they had to go to Sacramento. They lost that game by, what is this, 6. They were plus 3.5. I don't see Mike Malone losing both games in Sacramento. We know how much he hates this franchise for firing him years before. The dude won't even wear purple anymore. So,
Really?
yeah. I think you get a motivated Denver team. I don't know why the spread's moved in the way it has towards Sacramento. There's no Denver
Everyone's
guys.
fading. It's the letdown spot coming off the huge win.
It's the letdown spot, but like, how much of a huge win is it when you've sleptwalked and beat this team, the last 6 times you played the Lakers? Like, I feel like Denver's just a really good matchup for them. I feel like they come in motivated for this one and they win this game outright in Sacramento.
I mean, I like to talk shit about the Lakers, but they did give a lot of effort out there last night, minus LeBron. But I thought it was a hard-fought game. Thought it was physical.
Your Kings just look in shambles too, spread. Like, that game against Detroit, I don't know how much you watched of it. Like, they looked bad.
Yeah. I mean, they're not. That was that first game home from the road trip. Okay. Tyler says Nuggets.
I'd rather play we know how Friday is with underdogs. I'd rather play the underdog in this matchup.
Will you play the underdog in this next matchup, Tyler? The New Orleans Pelicans are -3 in Los Angeles, taking on Lakers. Totals 233.5. Lakers. This is the most we've seen a line move all day. The Lakers were -1 yesterday, Tyler. Because my God, everyone loves you so much, Tyler. What do I have to do to get some love from a chat one of these days? The Pelicans. Everybody loves them here. I don't know if I do.
No Zion, it's looking like he's doubtful, so I don't think I could bet New Orleans here. Yeah, I think it's one of the spots.
Lakers are past. The Pelicans are coming off that upset win over Los Angeles. They got to be feeling themselves. The Lakers coming off a tough loss. You got to think they're going to want to bounce back and get that taste out of their mouth right off the bat. Of course, Brandon Ingram revenge game. What does that mean? 233.5 is our total here, Tyler. To me, I hate to say it, I like the Lakers. You really think?
I just don't see them losing 2 games in a row like this. Could they? Yes, but after last night and that hard-fought game, I don't see them dropping.
I think it depends on who they're playing. The Pelicans off a win is not a team I trust, but I've got this team wrong all year.
And you know this team spent time out on the night in LA.
Yeah.
On a 4-game win streak, beat Houston and San Antonio. Then they won that 38-point game against the Raptors. Then they head to the Clippers and beat them convincingly. Had a night off in between the Lakers games. So, yeah, you know they spent some time out.
All right.
Yeah, even Clyde's saying it right here. Like, when teams normally split in back-to-backs in LA. It's not a back-to-back, but it's still the back-to-back games in LA. They never left LA.
Who's Clyde? I muted him. All right, Tyler. Let's go through this whole card. So we got props in the first 2 games. We don't want to play Wizards Celtics. Do we want to take the 14.5?
I'd be fine with taking the 14.5.
All right.
If we took all three dogs then the night, do you think we go 0-3, or do you think there's a better chance we go 3-0?
2-1.
I know you think the Sacramento's going to win one of those games, but
I don't know what to make of that Kings game. I really don't. I, do you think there's any chance LeBron and AD sit?
with the way the numbers moving, maybe.
Yeah. Let's stay off that one for right now.
Yeah, I'm fine with waiting on that one, but like, I would be surprised to
I
see
don't
like
care about LeBron, but if AD sits, I don't want that game.
I would be surprised if like Jokic popped on the injury report.
Jokic?
If
I
he
was
showed
thinking
up,
more Murray or
Murray's got
Porter
it,
or game time decisions. They're on the injury report.
but they're probable tags, so that tells me they're playing.
Yeah. All right. Final plays. You can call them. I had control yesterday, Tyler. You have the bridge today.
Hang on, I'm just looking up one last stat. I want to see one thing. Let's just take the two dogs, and then we'll decide on the Lakers game. Let's take Hornets and Nuggets.
You want Nuggets even with Murray and Porter questionable?
Yeah, they're not questionable. They're probable.
All right. Hornets and Nuggets it is.
Denver 6-3 straight up on a back-to-back this year, winning those games by about 3 points. I could trust them here against a team playing bad basketball right now.
All right. There we have it. All right, Tyler. Final thoughts on the NBA.
Yeah, it's a weird card. It's a tough one. I think we found two winners and a couple props. But tomorrow's card, I feel like we're going to find a lot of winners. 11 games. It's the final game before the break. Well, not the break, but a one-day Super Bowl break for some of these guys. So 11 games. We'll find some winners tomorrow for sure.
You want to do a show?
Maybe. We'll talk about it.
All right. Maybe an impromptu show tomorrow. Otherwise, I'll talk to you off air, but Monday might be weird.
Okay.
All right. These are the winners. We took Hornets plus 14.5, Nuggets plus 2.5. Nuke the house.